Let me ask you something. Is it possible that the biggest thing holding you back is you? Not your boss, not your past, not your country, not even your circumstances, but your own thoughts, your own patterns, your own invisible habits. Think about that. Sometimes we look everywhere for answers. We think, if I just had a better plan, or more support, or a little more luck. But what if it's not about adding anything new? It's about removing what's quietly hurting us. We all do things every day without realizing how they affect us. Maybe it's how we speak to ourselves. Maybe it's how we keep trying to please people. Maybe it's how we keep looking backwards, or how we overthink every little thing. These things seem small, but they build up, and over time they steal our peace, our energy, our confidence, sometimes even our sense of self. This episode is about those small patterns, the hidden habits that quietly keep us stuck in the same place, and more importantly, how to recognize them, understand where they come from, and begin to let them go. We're going to take a deep look at 4 common ways we often hurt ourselves without meaning to. If you stay with me until the end, I promise you'll walk away with more awareness, more self-respect, and practical tools to help you move forward with less fear and more clarity. So, take a breath and let's begin. And before we dive in, if this episode helps you or gives you something to think about, feel free to like and subscribe, only if it feels right to you. And in the comments, I'd really love to hear from you. Where in the world are you listening from? What time is it right now? And what are you doing while you're listening to this episode? I always enjoy reading your messages. Sending love to all of you. Now let's begin. First one, stop putting yourself down. Have you ever noticed how fast we criticize ourselves, even for the smallest things? We spill coffee and immediately think, I'm such an idiot. We forget something and say, what's wrong with me? It happens quickly, without thinking, and over time, this voice becomes our normal way of speaking to ourselves. But where does this voice come from? Often, it doesn't start with us. It starts with someone else. Maybe a parent, a teacher, or even a friend who spoke to us with judgment. Maybe they were trying to help. Maybe they were just repeating the same voice they heard growing up. But their words became a seed in our minds. And with time, that seed grew into self-doubt. Now, as adults, we continue the same pattern, but we do it to ourselves. We think, if I'm hard on myself, I'll improve. If I notice every mistake, I'll avoid failure. But it doesn't work that way. Being harsh doesn't help us grow. It makes us afraid to try. It creates shame, and shame doesn't lead to strength. It leads to silence, hiding, and fear. So what's the solution? It starts with awareness. Listen closely to your thoughts, especially when you make a mistake. What do you say to yourself? Would you say those same words to someone you love? If not, stop, take a breath, and choose different words. Instead of, I'm a failure, say, that didn't go well, but I'll learn from it. Instead of, I'm so bad at this, say, I'm still learning and that's okay. It may feel strange at first. You may not believe those new words, but that's normal. It takes time to change an old habit. The more you practice speaking kindly to yourself, the more natural it will feel. And the more you support yourself on the inside, the more confidence you'll show on the outside. It's not about being perfect. It's about building a healthy voice inside you. A voice that helps you grow instead of pushing you down, because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to stop tearing yourself apart. Second one, stop trying to please everyone. Let's talk about something many people do. Sometimes every day without noticing. They try to make everyone happy. They say yes when they want to say no. They smile when they feel frustrated. They stay quiet just to avoid conflict. Why do we do this? Because deep down, we want to feel safe. We want to feel accepted. We're afraid that if we upset someone, we'll lose their love, their respect, or their friendship. So we become experts at keeping the peace, even when it costs us our own peace inside. But here's the problem. You can't make everyone happy. No matter how kind, polite, or careful you are, someone somewhere will still not like something you do. And when you spend your whole life trying to be acceptable to everyone, you start to lose yourself. You forget what you actually want. You forget what you enjoy, what you need, what you believe. And one day you ask, who am I really? Am I living my life or just performing for others? This is what people-pleasing steals from you. Your time, your truth, your self-respect. It's not about being selfish, it's about being honest. Because honesty is the first step to building real relationships. When you speak clearly, not to hurt, but to be real, you give others a chance to know the real you. So how can you start changing this habit? Begin small. Say no to one thing that doesn't feel right. Tell the truth gently. When someone asks what you think, let someone be disappointed in you and remind yourself that it's okay. Because your worth doesn't come from being easy. It comes from being real. You can still be kind. You can still care. But you don't have to carry the world on your back. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be imperfect. And you are allowed to choose yourself, even if someone else doesn't like it. The more you do this, the stronger your sense of self becomes. And from that strength, real peace begins. Third one, stop living in the past. Let's talk about the past. The things we replay over and over again. The moments we regret. The words we wish we could take back. The choices we wish we made differently. It's so easy to live there, not just remember the past, but live in it, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. When you live in the past, it's like watching an old movie on repeat. You already know the story. You know how it ends. But still, you press play again and again, hoping it will feel different this time. But it doesn't. It only makes you feel stuck, heavy, or tired. So why do we do it? Sometimes we think that if we just understand the past more, we'll be able to change the future. We think, if I keep remembering that mistake, I won't make it again. But often the opposite happens. We become afraid to try. We believe that because we failed once, we'll always fail. Because someone hurt us once, we'll always be hurt. And so, we stop moving. But here's something important to remember. You are not your past. You are not that one decision. You are not that one bad day. You are not even the person you were last year or last month. You are changing all the time. And that's a good thing. So what can we do instead of living in the past? First, forgive. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know then. Forgive others who hurt you. Not because they were right, but because you deserve peace. Then bring your attention gently back to today. What can you do now? What's one choice, one thought, one step that can move you forward? You don't have to forget the past. It's a part of you. But it's not the whole story. It's a chapter, not the ending. Close it gently. Thank it for the lessons. Then open the next page and start writing something new, because your life is not behind you. It's here. It's now. And you get to decide how the next part goes. Last one. Stop overthinking everything. Overthinking is something many people struggle with, even if they don't talk about it. It feels like your brain just won't stop. You lie in bed at night thinking about something small that happened, and suddenly your mind turns it into a whole story. What if I made a mistake? What if they think I'm stupid? What if this one thing ruins everything? And then, before you know it, you're stuck. Not because something bad actually happened, but because your brain created so many possible bad things, and now you feel anxious, frozen, or exhausted. Overthinking often comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. And in that fear, we try to protect ourselves by thinking and thinking and thinking. We tell ourselves, if I just think more, I'll feel safer. But it doesn't work. Instead, we stay stuck in the same loop. And it drains our energy without giving us any real answers. So how can we stop? The answer isn't don't think. The answer is to trust yourself more and act sooner. One way to do this is to practice making small decisions quickly. Start with little things. What to eat, what to wear, what message to send. The more you train your brain to decide instead of delay, the more confidence you build. Also, learn to catch yourself when your mind starts spinning. Ask, is this real? Or is this just fear talking? Is this helping me or making me feel worse? Then ground yourself. Look around the room. Name 5 things you can see. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath. These simple actions bring you back to the present. And the present is where life happens, not in the hundreds of what-ifs that never come true. You don't need to figure everything out right now. You just need to take one small step and trust that the rest will become clear as you move. Overthinking creates fear. Action creates clarity. And the more you act, the more peace you'll feel. Because your mind isn't meant to be a cage. It's meant to be a guide. Let it lead you toward movement, not into endless doubt. That's how you begin to feel free again. Final thoughts. You deserve to move forward. Let's take a moment to breathe and look back at what we've explored together. We talked about 4 things that many of us do without even noticing. Habits that seem small, but slowly steal our energy, our peace, and our confidence. And if you've recognized yourself in any of them, that's not a reason to feel bad. That's a reason to feel proud. Because awareness is the beginning of real change. So let's remember what these 4 things are and why it's time to let them go. First one, stop putting yourself down. You are way better than you think. There's strength in you that you haven't even fully seen yet. It's time to start speaking to yourself with the same kindness you offer to others. Second one, stop trying to please everyone. No matter how hard you try, someone won't agree. Someone won't understand. And that's okay. You weren't born to be perfect. You were born to be real. The people who truly care about you will love the real version of you, not the edited one. Third one, stop living in the past. Nothing back there fits you anymore. You've outgrown old pain, old stories, and old limits. You're not who you used to be, and that's a good thing. The next chapter is waiting, but you have to stop rereading the old one. Fourth one, stop overthinking everything. You're not solving problems, you're only making yourself more anxious. Not every question needs an answer right away. Sometimes the best move is to trust your next small step and take it with peace. So as we close this episode, ask yourself gently, which one of these 4 things do I need to let go of first? Which one is holding me back the most? You don't have to fix everything in one day, but you can choose today to stop doing one thing that's hurting you. And that one choice can change everything. Thanks for being here with me. If this episode helped you see yourself more clearly, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. And remember, you're not broken. You're just becoming, and you're doing better than you think. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.